Everyone, welcome to the Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It is Tuesday, April 15th. It is 2025. We have 11 baseball games to talk about on today's podcast. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday night. And man, oh man, what an interesting baseball slate Monday has been. Clay Holmes looked really good early. My boy Scobel looked really good. Valdez looked terrible. Just a really, really bad outing by him. The Rays did exactly what we were kind of talking about on the podcast yesterday. I tweeted it out. I was like, Tanner Houck, I think I was spot on with that. So hopefully you played some Rays. I didn't full stack the Rays enough I only built 3 teams. And I had a lot of Clay Holmes on those 3 teams. So it was like, man, if I could have just had a full Rays stack, it probably would have been a really good night. I did have a Yankees Rays and a Rays Dodgers. So I have one super live team, but my Rays Dodgers team had Easton. So yeah, not the best. But I think what did my boy Holmes end up with? He's gonna get what, 26? I think that's really good. Bet his strikeout prop. That was one of my favorite bets on Monday, was his strikeout prop. I thought it was just too low, so took advantage of that. And yeah, wild night of baseball. What's up, chat? Derek, Yeezy, Todd, Ethan. He said, who's dead before the Dodger game starts? Just me. I mean, I think a lot of people. I mean, if you didn't have the right Rays, Dave, what's up, Dave? If you didn't have the right Rays, you're probably in trouble by a lot. I did want to give a couple shout outs. We had a couple people donate to support the podcast. Appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And like I said, it goes straight to supporting the podcast. I don't get paid to do anything for this. I do it because I like to do it. And I said, I appreciate everyone that has donated. I need to start writing down names of everyone that donates so I can start doing a shout out and actually give out the names, but I'll get there. I'm new to all this stuff, man. I'm not new to the podcasting, but I'm new to this for sure. So all right, let's we have a lot to get through, a lot to talk about, a lot of games to break down, and so let's just jump in and have some fun here. We get started with Cleveland. You guys ever, really quick before we get into this game, you ever get a bug bite underneath where you wear your watch? If you wear a watch, it is so annoying. It has been driving me crazy for the last 3 days. It's driving me insane right now. Anyway, it's right under where I wear my watch. Joseph says he's sweating. Tampa Bay Dodgers. BA, is that Baltimore? Baz. Oh, did Baz pitch well against my Red Sox, didn't he? All right. Just, yeah. Along the sock line? Oh, yeah, that one. That doesn't sound fun. I have one I don't know if you can see it, but it's right under, it's right here, and it's it's obviously it's a little red, but it goes right where I wear my watch. Oh, it won't stop. Anyway, all right, let's get into some baseball talk. As always, appreciate everyone hanging out and being here. It's fun. I mean, again, it's just like I said yesterday. It's just it's a fun show. It's a great community, and yeah, it's fun to chat baseball. Cleveland at Baltimore is where we start today's slate. We got the Guardians and the Orioles, 8.5 total. Baltimore 142 favorite. Allen and Morton pitching against each other. Oh, fun. Logan Allen and Charlie Morton. Oh man. What a baseball game right off the bat. I know I shouldn't laugh, right? I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't. All right, let's talk. We'll talk Logan Allen first. Really tough matchup, obviously, going up against Baltimore. I would say Baltimore, they have enough right-handed hitters in this lineup that they're going to give a lefty trouble. I do think that they're a little bit better overall against right-handed pitching. But I mean, Rutschman, Switchy, Westberg, a righty, O'Neill, Mountcastle. I feel like they have another couple platoon guys. They have Gary, right? Gary Sanchez. Isn't he a Baltimore Oriole? So, like, looking at Logan Allen as a pitcher and not someone we want to pick on first, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but Logan Allen, a below average strikeout pitcher, finished the season last year around 18%. Through his first two outings this year, San Diego and Chicago, he got 15 fantasy points against Chicago, 83 pitches, 4 strikeouts, couple walks, no earned runs in that game. He has a 11% strikeout rate. His walk rate is higher than his strikeout rate. Never what you want to see. He still does a above average job of generating. He does above average job of generating ground balls. So like I get that, but he's just not a good pitcher. He doesn't miss bats. I feel like he still kind of pitches to contact enough that he's hardly ever going to be in play for me in DFS. I mean, depending on like the slate and stuff, maybe, but overall, Logan Allen, not someone I think anyone is excited about playing, especially with the pitching slate that we have on this slate. So no real interest there. We'll talk about these bats in just a minute. Charlie Morton, other side of this one, going up against Cleveland. I have enjoyed playing Cleveland pitchers against Cleveland this year, but I don't know if Charlie Morton is the guy. He is really cheap. He's 6,500. His strikeout rate still decent. You know, he had a lot of strikeouts against Boston. That definitely helps with the strikeout rate. His command is still kind of all over the place. He's allowed at least 4 earned runs in every start, and he's getting hit hard. He has a 75% hard hit rate through his first 3 games this year. Even in the game against the Red Sox, he gave up a lot of hard contact in that game. So I saw that and I was looking at his Baseball Savant page, and I mean, he's getting barreled 17.5% of the time. His pitching run value is bottom 5%. His sinker's not sinking, really. I mean, that's one of the things that I noticed a lot. He's throwing more fastballs, not great. Like, he's still getting enough whiffs on his fastball where it's usable and his curveball where it's usable, but like his curveball is getting hammered this year. Like his curveball last year, just to kind of give everybody a baseline, his curveball last year had a 255 xWOBA. Everyone knows I like the X stats a lot more than regular, but 275 WOBA. I think you get a better idea with the X stats. But his X slugging was 260, and his whiff rate was 34% with a 22% put away on his curveball last year. The velocity is down for Charlie Morton to start the season. His curveball, that he gave up 1 home run, and he threw 1,100 times last year. He has thrown 87 times this year. He's given up 2 home runs. He has a 458 xWOBA and a 699 x slugging percentage on his curveball. I mean, velocity matters a little bit, but that just, to me, screams something else. Looking at it, like, he's still getting a lot of corner. The command seems to be the biggest issue here, but he's cheap. He's really cheap. And I mean, again, we've talked so much this year about how much like strikeout upside is in this Cleveland lineup. They have a lot of strikeouts in this lineup. I don't know if I pulled a trigger. I am very concerned about how hard he's getting hit to start the season. Cleveland bats against him. This is the issue, right? Like, who do you really play against him? Obviously, Kwan, Ramirez, Santana are fine. Nolan Jones has like a 100 ISO with a 30% K rate to start the season. Bo Naylor has been striking out a ton. You know, these are the guys that we've been picking on. I like Manzardo. So I think Cleveland, for me, would be like a Ramirez, Kwan, Manzardo stack. It's just a really expensive stack. So I don't know how much I get to them today. Baltimore, on the other hand, I like Baltimore a lot today. I think this is like I said, I think Logan Allen is very hittable. Looking at this team against lefties since the start of last season, Rutschman's really good. Westbrook's really good. Tyler O'Neill absolutely smashes left-handed pitching. Mountcastle really good against lefties last year. So I like the price a lot on O'Neill at 4,700. I think he is a really strong home run play today. So just kind of throwing that out there. I think O'Neill is a great option just in general today. I'm writing that down so I don't forget to look into some odds for him betting wise. Boston at Tampa. 9 total in this game. Red Sox, or the Rays, sorry, 130 favorite. It's Pepiot against Buehler. We'll start here with Walker Buehler. I mean, I talk so much smack against Walker Buehler, just on a every start basis, and he went out and just dominated Toronto last time out. So he kind of pied me. And like as a Red Sox fan, it's hard for me because it's like, am I happy about that? His command is a little bit better this year. He only has 2 walks through the first 3 starts. His strikeout rate is slightly above where he was last year, but he's still getting hit very hard. And he's getting very lucky against righties to start the season. His hard hit rate against lefties is 59%. He only has a 4.9% swinging strike rate. And I think that was one of the things that kind of benefited him against Toronto. They didn't have a ton of lefties. So I think I'm going to pass on Buehler today. And we're going to talk about these Tampa bats that just absolutely crushed the Red Sox on Monday. I was like, what? I lost train of thought what day it was. Bats looked really good. I turned the game off pretty early as a Red Sox fan. I wasn't really watching it to watch my Red Sox get crushed. So, man, I had a Rays team that looked really good too. That had Framber. He pitched terrible. Anyway, Pepiot has been kind of reverse splitsy this year. He's been really good against lefties. He's really struggled with righties. I did a little digging on this, and he wasn't like that at all last year. He was much better against righties than he was against lefties. Looking through the data on him before the podcast, listen, I enjoy high scoring baseball games. I when I got done with the podcast last night, Derek, I tried even harder to get my wife to go to the game. So I think we're not gonna go this time, but I think we're gonna go. I think I talked her into going next time that they're in town. And we might go see a minor league game on Wednesday night because I think I talked her into that. So go see the Tortugas play on Wednesday night. Anyway, Ryan Pepiot, I was looking and like trying to figure out like where some of the reverse splits are coming from. He really didn't have reverse splits last year. I'm not seeing too much of a difference this year outside of the fact that like he's throwing his fastball a lot less, and he's using his slider changeup a little bit more than he was last year. And he kind of added this cutter last year, but he didn't use it a lot. He's using it about 5 to 6% more than he was last year. So last season against righties, he threw his fastball 57% of the time. He really didn't throw a lot of sliders and changeups. And this year he's doing the opposite. He's throwing his fastball a lot less. But the numbers against lefties, I think, are just a little skewed by sample size. The one thing that I will say, the only thing that stood out to me on the early season small sample size numbers for Pepiot was last year he only threw his cutter 8% of the time, and he's throwing it 19% of the time to lefties this year, and it's been excellent. It has a 226 xWOBA against lefties and a 0 WOBA. I don't know. I'm guessing that means that there hasn't been a hit off of his cutter by a lefty yet. So, yeah, I'm looking at that kind of stuff. So that was the only noticeable difference was last year he threw his fastball 46% of the time to lefties last year. This year, he's throwing his fastball 28%. He's throwing his changeup 38%. Still a small sample size, right? Like at the end of the day, it's still a very small sample size. It's 3 starts. But it looks like Pepiot is trying to fix his lefty issues that he had by throwing a lot less fastballs and kind of mixing it up more. Still getting hit hard. I mean, it's not like he's not getting hit hard. So, I don't know. After we watched the Red Sox get Shane Baz, it's like, do we play a little bit of Pepiot? I think we have a lot of good potential hitters on this slate, or pitchers too. Pitchers. I said hitters. Pitchers. We have a lot of hitters too. I don't think I want to play him. I have played him to start the season quite a bit. I don't think I want to play him today, and it's more of it's still such a small sample size that I don't know if I trust it enough yet. We don't know if he's going to be a good or bad strikeout pitcher yet, and it just doesn't seem like he's going to be a great strikeout pitcher. He was slightly above average last year. So, Boston bats, I mean, I think you go back to the well in Boston here and just say they had a bad day. I mean, when you get down, like they got down, I mean, do you really want to play baseball? I don't know. So, yeah, Torkelson stunk too. And like I had plenty of Tigers, and Torkelson was in some of those Tiger plays, and he was bad. I like the fact that they hit Malloy leadoff. I wish they did more. He's so cheap. Anyway, Boston bats for me would be a stack or fade. I don't think they're a terrible stack. They're not a top stack for me. If you're picking on Pepiot, Devers, Duran, Bregman, Abreu, they're finally hitting Abreu up and moving Cassis down, which is something they should have been doing. I think the Tampa side is the interesting side here. Again, I don't believe in Walker Buehler. Like, I allow Arnanda, Misner, like right off the bat against Buehler. I mean, Buehler really struggled with lefties last year. I know he's been a little bit better against lefties this year, but I'm going to take a much larger sample size with Buehler and say that the lefties are where you want to target him. So, I mean, I do like Tampa again. We have to continue to adjust our mind about Tampa playing in this ballpark compared to playing in the Trop. This ballpark is going to produce a lot more runs, and we're going to see a lot more production from Tampa. And I don't think it's a fluke how good this team is off to, like, start-wise. I mean, if you look at the advanced numbers for them, they're really, really solid. Misner hit 2 home runs. I mean, where did Cameron Misner come from? Tampa just produces this, like, every like few years you see like Tampa just produce these guys, and like, I mean, yeah. I feel like we're going to see Carson soon for Tampa too. Their number 1 prospect. I think we're going to see him pretty soon. I mean, with the way that they've started and the way that Taylor Walls is just not hitting, I think that we'll see Carson Williams soon. Mookie went yard just now. All right. Good start. We love to see that. Good start for Dodger stacks. Kansas City at New York facing the Yankees. We have 8.5 total in this one. Yankees a 185 favorite. Waka and Max Fried battling it out here in New York. We'll start as always with Waka, the road pitcher. Michael Waka. Listen, Seth Lugo did a lot better than I thought he was going to do. But I'm going to go right back to the Yankees here. And like, it's not like the Yankees didn't do well. You just kind of were hoping a little bit more production from the guys you spent a lot of money on. But yeah, I want to pick on Waka. I don't want to play him. He's a below average strikeout pitcher, continues to struggle with command. Even this season, he's struggling with command. We've seen 2 out of his 3 starts. He's had at least 3 walks. So I want to pick on him. I think this is a great spot to pick on him. I'm not playing Michael Walker today. Going to the other side, Max Fried. I will say Carlos Carrasco pitched better than I thought he was going to, too. Max Fried's a really good pitcher. They knew what they were getting here with him. Jonathan India, Bobby Witt, really stout at top half of this lineup. Salvador Perez off to a really slow start this season. Garcia is not bad against lefties, but overall, I think this is a really, really solid spot for Fried. I like pitchers that should be pitching with a lead, so I think Max Fried in play. He's 9,500 on DK, kind of in this price range of a couple other pitchers that I really like on this slate. So I don't know. I will play a little bit of him. I typically build, like I said, 3 to 5 teams, and every once in a while, when I'm sitting at my computer closer to lock, I'll build a 20 entry max build of just a few stacks that I like, built around some pitchers that I like. I kind of condense those pools to the stacks that I like. So, I might throw a 20 entry max in there as well. So, but overall, 3 to 5 teams. I'm probably getting freed on at least one of those teams today. As far as the Kansas City bats, if you don't believe in Max Fried, I still don't think you stack against him. He's such a good pitcher. He doesn't typically get blown up. He doesn't give up a lot of fly balls. He generates a lot of ground balls, has decent strikeout stuff. Even last year, his ISO was under 100 against righties, and the lefties in this lineup do not hit left-handed pitching. So if Pascantino's in there, that's a bump to Max Fried. If they leave in like Massey, any of these guys, it's just a bump to Fried. So Kansas City lineup has been gutless to start the season. Don't love the spot for them. Going to the other side here, love the Yankees. I think they're a top stack on the slate. Rice, Judge, Wells, Jazz. I'm leaving Goldschmidt out of my stacks right now. He's just not hitting for a lot of power. And I mean, he's scoring 7 to 10 points a night, it feels like, and he's on base, and his batting average, one of those fun things that we love so much in DFS, is solid. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's just not hitting with a lot of power. I'd rather take shots on like Grisham or Dominguez towards the bottom half that have some power than Goldie. Goldie, again, rooting for the guy to make the Hall of Fame. I have a few 101 Paul Goldschmidt cards that I'd like to sell eventually. All right, we got Atlanta at Toronto, 8 total in this game. The Braves a 130 favorite. Schwallenbach against Gaussman in this one. We'll start here. Grant Holmes, man, he pitched really well. We'll start here with Spencer Schwallenbach. I really like Spencer Schwallenbach. I think that this guy has the talent to be a pitcher in the bigs for a long time. Had a big game earlier this year against Miami, pitched well against Philadelphia. I think this matchup is a lot better than we think. Toronto Blue Jays, one of the lowest ISO teams against right-handed pitching to start the season. I know, again, it's a small sample size, but at the end of the day, we still have to look at it. It's not going to be that like decision. We have to look at this no matter what kind of thing. Fernando Tatis just hit a home run. So when I'm looking at this spot, I'm just like, I like it a lot. I'm trying to pull up really quick team stats right against right-handed pitching. I know I looked at it earlier, and I know they're towards the bottom in ISO, but I wanted to get the numbers. So yeah, so ISO against right-handed pitching, Toronto is dead last at 0.85, 0.085. Their WRC plus against right-handed pitching this season is 21st, but they're last in ISO, and they've only hit 4 home runs against right-handed pitching this season, which is it's the worst in the league. So that's less than Colorado. So I like Schwallenbach. I think that he's expensive in this spot, and you don't want to pay the price for him, but I think he's capable of 30 plus, and I think that is kind of the mark that we're looking for a 10K pitcher. So yeah, I mean, plenty of interest in him. Kevin Gaussman on the other side here, I think he is okay. I think he's still like, he's coming off of a game against the Red Sox where he dominated them. But looking at advanced numbers for Gaussman, he has gotten extremely lucky through his first 3 games this season. His BABIP is like 140. It's going to change. He's 8,500. He's facing a tough Atlanta team. I will say Ozuna's banged up right now. He wasn't in the lineup on Monday. We'll see if he's back in the lineup here. They said he's not going to play at all this series. So that's a bump to Gausman. I think we all can kind of agree that that's a bump to Gausman, like going from Ozuna to like Brian De La Cruz. So Gausman, I think he's kind of an iffy pitcher. I probably don't get to a lot of him, if any of him. I still think Atlanta's lineup is way better than they've kind of showed to start the season. Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Sean Murphy, Matt Olson would be kind of where I'm building stacks around Gausman. He's giving up a ton of fly balls to start the season, and like I said, I think he's getting a little lucky. Sean Murphy looks awesome to start the season. He is just hitting everything right now, it feels like. So, and looking at Gausman's numbers against righties, like kind of a bump to Murphy. So I think it's more of Atlanta like mini stacks than a full stacks. And I think it's a good mini stack to have maybe for tournaments. On the Toronto side, like I said, they've only hit 4 home runs against right-handed pitching this season. Looking at the advanced numbers for them, they're struggling. They're just not getting the ball up in the air. Like they don't have anybody really hitting the ball up in the air outside of Jimenez and Ernie Clement. Everybody else is under 20%. So it's not what you want to see facing a pitcher like Schwallenbach. Athletics at the White Sox, 8.5 total in this game. The Athletics, I almost called them Oakland. Athletics, a minus 166. Yeah, minus 166 favorite here. We have Springs and Burke facing off against each other in this one. We'll start with Jeffrey Springs. I don't necessarily hate this spot for him. Looking at this lineup against left-handed pitching, it's not the best. It's not the worst, though. They're going to be able to probably get 8 righties in the lineup. They're not the best righties, but I think that actually benefits Spring a little bit. He does strike out right-handed hitters at a higher percentage than left-handed pitcher or hitters. Looking at the stats for the White Sox lineup, the bottom half of the lineup, not going to be great. The top half of the lineup, Vargas is okay. He doesn't strike out a ton. Robert is going to be a guy that's going to potentially get the power going, but he's been striking out a ton against lefties. Sosa's decent against lefties. Vaughn's decent against lefties. I'm only kind of concerned about like 2 bats in this lineup. I think Springs is worth taking some tournament shots on. Like we were just talking about Gausman in this range. Springs can generate some strikeouts. He's had some tough matchups. This is a much better matchup. This is like closer to the Seattle matchup that he had earlier this season. So I think Springs 8,200 is a fair price tag. I think this is a spot that he can have some strikeout upside. Going to the other side, we got Sean Burke. Burke, like, we saw him pitch last year. We're like, all right, maybe this guy is going to be an okay strikeout hitter or pitcher. Sorry. And we just haven't seen it to start the season. He hasn't pitched deep the last 2 outings. He has struggled a lot with command. He walked 4 hitters last start against Cleveland. Oakland could score runs in bunches. They're a very sneaky offense in general. So they're one of my favorite offenses to play. I don't like to target them too much. They really, outside of Rooker, they don't strike out a ton. If Seth Brown's in there and Muncie's in there, those 2 guys strike out too. But Burke he hasn't missed bats. He's really struggled with command. His advanced stats say that he's getting lucky too, which is crazy. His BABIP against left-handed hitters this season is .062. Like, that is not sustainable for even 3 starts. So Michael Busch, you guys remember me talking about Michael Busch on the podcast. I told you guys, when he gets hot, Michael Busch, when he is hot, he just hits everything. It's wild. That guy is a very, very streaky hitter. Just saying. All right. Don't like Sean Burke. Not playing Sean Burke. I'm playing some athletics, though. I think that Sean Burke is hittable. He's getting lucky, like I said. I think this is a spot that we want to pick on him. So I want to play Butler. I want to play Soderstrom. He's one of my favorites. I feel like it. He's just a guy that I love to play. Bangaliers with a catcher with some upside. Rooker is in play here. Until he starts hitting again, he's going to be Rooker. I got tweeted about it, and I agree. I forget who tweeted me, but they said that I need to say his name right until he starts hitting, because we got to break the cold streak for him. But the Athletics are a team that I'm definitely going to target on this slate. As far as the White Sox, again, they have plenty of righties in this lineup. They could be like your cheaper take some shots on stack. I mean, it's a really cheap. Robert's 3,500. He's the most expensive hitter in this lineup. So you could play White Sox with like 3 really strong bats and 2 really strong pitchers and have a stack that is against a pitcher that from time to time will really struggle with command. We just watched like Garrett Crochet just absolutely mow down this lineup on, was it Sunday? So for me, I lean on the side of Springs instead of the side of the White Sox. But if you're playing 150, I don't think they're a bad stack, because, I mean, the pitching that you're going to get with this stack is going to be great. And the 3 bats outside of these, outside of the stack is going to be great too. So, New York at Mets at the Minnesota Twins, 8 total in this game. Pick'em game. We got McGill and Bailey Ober facing off against each other here. Going to the visiting side first, McGill. I like Taylor McGill today. I think that at 7,900, he is a great mid-range pitcher. This guy has strikeout stuff. He's around 26% last season. He's around 27% this year. He does a great job limiting power. And we saw this from time to time last year. And he doesn't get barreled. He has good swing and strike numbers. He has good whiff rate numbers. So I'm always a fan of playing him. And it just doesn't seem like he ever gets like a ton of love in general. But I mean, I really like what we see from him. He has multiple good pitches. He has a good fastball. He has that like sinking fastball that he uses sometimes that they classify as a sinker. It looks more of like a fastball. And then, I mean, he does have a slider and curveball, so he can change a lot of eye movements too. I think that it's not really a fluke that he's been pitching well. He's had some good matchups, but Minnesota's a good matchup too. I mean, I talked about this a lot yesterday with Clay Holmes. Minnesota, a team that's really struggling to start the season. So I like Taylor McGill here. Bailey Ober, other side. I was a little shocked by the line in this game being a pick'em game. I feel like the Mets should be the favorite here. Bailey Ober, I mean, he's a good pitcher. He's not a great pitcher, but he's a good pitcher. But the Mets lineup is so good. And McGill is good. I don't know if he's great yet, but he's good enough. So, I mean, this line threw me off a little bit here. Ober hasn't been good to start the season. It's a very small sample size, but he's been very hittable. His command has been kind of down. A lot of his stats were that St. Louis game. So it's again, that's why it's really hard to use like a 3-game sample size. But overall, for me, I think that this is a spot I'm probably going to not play Ober, but he's not the craziest play at under 7K in large field tournaments. I don't want to play him, especially looking at his advanced numbers for this year and his fly ball rates against the Mets lineup that doesn't strike out. So, yeah, I'm not going to do it. All right. Bats. I like the Mets. I mean, not a huge Bailey Ober guy, fly ball guy that's been really struggling with command. His hard hit rate is really high to start the season. So Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Lindor, Vientos, Winker, all in play for me. Yeah, I mean, I like the spot quite a bit for the Mets. As far as Minnesota, I mean, I again lean on the side of McGill. I think this line is a little wonky, but yeah, that could just be me. Could just be me. Moving on, we got Detroit at Milwaukee. This game's currently at 7.5. We got Flaherty and Priester facing off against each other here. Detroit a slight 125 favorite. Flaherty. I mean, Flaherty is a great pitcher. Obviously, we watched our boy Scoble pitch really well on Monday night. I think Flaherty goes right back to back on this team. I mean, this is a tough offense, but I mean, this is an offense that's very beatable. I wanna play Flaherty. I like his price tag. I feel like he's underpriced. Where some of these pitchers, I feel like, are overpriced, but we're getting a guy that had a 28% K rate last year for 9K against offense that has plenty of strikeouts in it. Like, yeah, I mean, he just dominated the Yankees. He pitched well against the Dodgers. He dominated the White Sox. Now he gets the Brewers. I mean, no reason not to have some exposure to Flaherty. And then Quinn Priester on the other side. I mean, I played him last time out in Colorado against the Rockies, but the pitching slate was awful. He did not look great in that game. It was his first start of the season. He typically is more of he's going to try to generate ground balls. But overall, I don't want to play Quinn Priester today. It's the second start of the season. Didn't make the starting roster for the Red Sox. I think he got traded or released to Milwaukee. I forget, but I can't do it. I'm going to go back to Detroit. Again, we all know how much I like Kerry Carpenter, how much I like Riley Green on a daily basis. They're just way, way underpriced today. I think some of this pricing is really good, but Kerry Carpenter at 3,700 is one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. And then Dingler, I mean, this guy keeps hitting. I mean, I don't know if we'll continue to see him hit like this all year, but he just keeps hitting. Catcher with some upside. Riley Green. So like the stack, you got to use some outfield, but you get to use your catcher. I like this little stack here. I don't know if I'd full stack them, but I really think they're a really solid 3-man stack. I know Torkelson kind of burned us on Monday night. I know he burned me, but he's been hitting really well, and he's hit right-handed pitching really well this year. So I think Priester is beatable in this spot, and I think Detroit is a team that we want to target again. I mean, yeah. Just saying, we'll see how it turns out. Milwaukee Bats, I mean, they're a good offense, but Flaherty's good. We have a ton of spots that aren't the best today. So, yeah. Moving on. Houston at St. Louis. Brown and Fetty facing off against each other in this one. 7.5 total. Astros a 125 favorite. Valdez really let us down yesterday. I think we're going back to the well here. Hunter Brown, an excellent strikeout pitcher. Cardinals, I mean, they have a lot of strikeouts in this lineup. Going back to Torkelson's baseball. I mean, yeah. So I think Hunter Brown, another pitcher. I mean, this is a slate where you need some strikeout upset, right? Like you're not going to get there by a guy going out and pitching solid and scoring 18 points today. You need upside on this slate. There's too many good pitchers. There's too many good hitters. It's a huge 11-game slate. You have to have strikeout upside, and he has it. I mean, Hunter Brown, he was 25.5% last year. He's 27.7% to start this season. He's looked really good through his first 3 starts. Kind of struggled last time out against Seattle, strikeout-wise, but pitched really well. So Hunter Brown, very much in play for me today. I think he can score 25 plus, and that's kind of what I'm looking for is 25 plus. The thing is, I will say that I like Flaherty more than Brown. I like going up and playing Schwallenbach more than Brown, but I think Brown is potentially better than Fried. So that's kind of those high-end pitchers. Just, quick thoughts. Eric Fetty, other side. Not good. Oh, he can't miss bats this year. Like, he has one of the lowest, like, whiff rates, like chase whiff rates in baseball to start the season. Coming off of a decent start against Pittsburgh, like, I'm going to stack against Eric Fetty all season. Houston, ice cold at the plate. They have plenty of upside in this lineup. They're eventually going to start hitting. No chance of playing Fetty. I like the Houston stack. Again, it's scary because Houston is like one of these teams where you're like, can they get going? They had a really decent series against the Angels where they were scoring some runs. I like Houston a lot. I mean, I'm going to pick on Fetty. Like I said, Fetty's strikeout rate this season is almost double his walk rate, or his walk rate is almost double his strikeout rate. And, like, what's crazy for Fetty, too, is looking at his advanced numbers. Like, he's a 119 BABIP to start the season. Like, he's not going to continue to get this lucky, with the hard contact and everything that he gives up. Yeah. And he doesn't pitch deep into games because he can't throw strikes. Like Houston, St. Louis side, I don't necessarily want to pick on Hunter Brown. He doesn't really struggle a lot. He does a really good job of limiting hard contact, too. One-off power bats, I guess, but overall, probably going to stay away from St. Louis because we just have so many good spots to take advantage of today. Angels, Rangers. This game is currently at 8.5. It's kind of a pick'em game, slight favorite, but basically a pick'em game. Kikuchi against Male here. You say Kikuchi. I mean, Kikuchi, he has struggled with strikeouts and hard contact to start the season. He's not getting the strikeouts that we're kind of expecting from him. He struggled with hard contact, and he's giving up a lot of barrels to righties. So he's really struggled against, like, right-handed heavy offenses. Texas is not the best team in the world against left-handed pitching. We've seen them struggle with left-handed pitchers a lot this year and last year. They're not going to be able to get all these lefties out. That's going to benefit Kikuchi. I mean, he's still elite against lefties. He struggles against, like, right-handed power bats. So with Wyatt Langford hurt, their best right-handed power bat is probably Heim, the catcher. Josh Jung, Jake Berger hit left-handed pitching well. I don't think Kikuchi is a terrible tournament play in this spot. I'm going to talk about some bats against him just because of, like, how much hard contact he's been giving up and, how much power. I mean, he's given up 4 home runs through 3 starts. So I think this is one of those spots you could potentially play a little both. He has thrown over 100 pitches in back-to-back starts. They have power with a few of these guys. Garcia, you would think Garcia is really good against righties. He's just not. Other side, Molly, like, Tyler Molly is tilting me. He's pitching a lot better than I want him to. He's getting extremely lucky. He has a 147 BABIP to start the season. He's really struggled with command. He has 7 walks through his first 3 starts. He struggled with hard contact, especially to righties. Just, like, when you look at this lineup, like, if you're struggling with hard contact and power to righties, like, the Angels are not the team you want to face. Ward, Trout, Soler, Travis d'Arnaud, Paris, Adele, like, these guys are all righties that can hit right-handed pitching. I think this is a bad spot for Tyler Mahle. Do stats think this is a bad spot for Tyler Mahle? I think I want to fade him today. he's just, like I said, he's been pitching a lot better than I expected. And teams have been loading up with lefties against him. And I think that's a mistake. And you look at the Angels lineup and they can't load up with lefties against them. They're too right-handed heavy. You really want pitchers that like dominate righty against like that's the type of pitcher that you want to face the Angels. They're so right-handed heavy. It's like the Astros. You really want these really good pitchers against righties. Ohtani yard. I like that. That's cool. I like the Dodgers scoring some runs. That's great. Anyway, like not to I'm getting distracted again. I'm sorry. Not to get too distracted here, but I don't want to play Tyler Mahle, I don't think. And I think I want to play the Angels today. I think your sneaky stack to start the season. They lead the majors in home runs against right-handed pitching. They have 27 home runs against righties this season. They have the highest ISO in baseball against right-handed pitching this year, and you have a righty that struggles with right-handed bats. If this doesn't scream like high upside spot, I don't know what does. I think this is a really sneaky spot for the Angels. I don't think a lot of people will be talking about the Angels, and I could be completely wrong. But I think this is a sneaky good spot for the Angels today. On the road in Texas. If you're playing the righties and they bring in the lefty, who cares? They're not going to get pinch hit for. I think this is a real spot for the Angels. Like, I'm pulling up my Hard Rock app really quick. I want to see what the Angels run line is at. Angels run line. I'm taking over 3.5 right now. I'm doing it. It's minus 135 on the Hard Rock, and I'm gonna bet over 3.5 Angels runs. I'm on the Angels today. I think this is going to be my overweight team that I end up playing quite a bit of today. I like what I'm seeing in the stats. Mahle struggles against righties. This team is crushing right-handed pitching. So, all right, that's what I got in this one. As far as the Texas bats against Kikuchi, I like Heim as the catcher play. Jung 3,500, Berger 3K. So I don't mind some of these Texas righties. I don't know if I'd stack them against Kikuchi, but he has given up home runs, so I like the power righties in this lineup here. Cubs, Padres. 7.5 total in this one. Cubs a 135 favorite. We got Shota against Vasquez in this one. Shota 8,700. Really tough matchup. I mean, granted, the Padres maybe a little bit better matchup for a left-handed pitcher, but they don't strike out a ton. And we need the upside today. He pitched really well against them a week and a half, 10 days ago. Pitched really well against them. They don't strike out a ton, so he has to do, and like he did in that start, he just has to have a really efficient game. He pitched really well. He scored 24 points with a win in that game. They don't let him go really deep into games, which is always a huge concern for me. I think there's higher upside plays. I'm not running the stack against him by any means. I don't want to go stack against him, but I mean, he's sitting around 16% Ks this year. We have to have those strikeouts. It's a low strikeout team. I think he just has to be too efficient today to get there, and I don't want to do that. Randy Vasquez is a well below average strikeout pitcher that struggles with command. He's yet to give up a home run this year. He should absolutely be getting hammered a lot more than he has. He's not going to continue to be able to have a 150 BABIP and just not throw strikes. No chance. Love the Cubs in this spot. I love offenses that are just hitting everything, and that just seems like what the Cubs are doing right now. So Cubs very much in play as a stack here. Obviously, we talked about it yesterday. Suzuki dealing with a wrist injury, did not play on Monday. I don't think he'll be back in the lineup. Michael Busch, just extremely hot. Kyle Tucker has a 400 ISO against right-handed pitching this season. He's been crushing righties. PCA, power speed combo, 4K. Love that price tag. Yeah, I think this is a really good spot for the Cubs. Yeah, as far as the Padres, again, I'm not running to stack against Shota. Maybe Tatis or Machado, but overall, probably staying away from the Padres today. I think this is a much better spot for the Cubs. We finished it out with Colorado at LA, taking on the Dodgers in this one. 8.5 total. Dodgers, a 325 favorite. It's going to be like that all series. Not really a shocker here. Feltner against Knack. We'll talk about Ryan Feltner. I mean, he's actually not been too bad to start the season. He's been okay. Had some decent games. Pitched well against Milwaukee last time out. Been slightly like right around average. He profiles as a below average strikeout pitcher. That's not the greatest pitcher in the world. Not playing against the Dodgers there. We talked about him. Landon Knack on the other side. I mean, I'll play just about anybody against this Rockies team. And the fact that Landon Knack is 7K makes him very appealing. We know that he wasn't projected to be a starter at the beginning of the season. He is kind of built up a little bit here. 69 pitches last time out. I think we see Landon Knack maybe get 75 to 85 pitches here. He's a low strikeout pitcher typically. Think he's a little bit more stretched out. This lineup is just so bad that at 7K, I think you could take some shots on Knack and be okay with it. I think that there's a lot of pitchers that have way more upside in general on this slate for a little bit more. McGill being the guy that I really like for $900 more than Knack. But I don't think Knack is like a bad play. I am really searching for upside on a slate like this with 11 games with so many good offensive spots, so many good pitching strikeout matchups. So I don't know how much Knack I would play. I will continue to say that I think he is in play. Rockies bat. This is the thing. Like, this lineup is just awful. Mickey Moniak is like the guy that I like to play in this offense that has some power, but they just get to like this guy. Like, I like Tovar. I'm game. I like Tovar. I think he's going to be a good player. But like, let's just give Mickey Moniak. They moved him up to 6 recently. But he's like one of the guys that have power in your lineup. Like, let him hit. Dodgers stacks. Yep. I mean, every slate, like, they're expensive. I talked yesterday about how to get cheaper, you could potentially like leave off Betts and Ohtani, and we know that they've both hit home runs already at the time of recording this podcast. Like, they're just so good, and like this lineup is so good. We have some cheap pitching, we have some cheap bats that we talked about throughout the pod. So yeah, I mean, I think I find ways to get some Dodger stacks for sure. I think that it's too good of a spot not to have Dodgers here. Think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Morning grind game. Appreciate everyone hanging out. I feel like this slate's fun. I mean, it's 2 back-to-back really fun slates. Really enjoyed the podcast yesterday. I had a lot of fun. And I'll be honest, now that like this show isn't sponsored or hosted by anybody besides me, I host and sponsor this show. I can say Sunday night pods have always been one of my least favorite pods. I love the idea of like getting back in the swing of like baseball and everything, but man, I am so drained after NASCAR on Saturday and Sunday that like Sunday night podcast. But I legitimately had a ton of fun on the podcast yesterday. Thank you all for being here. Under 8K to get 6 or more strikeouts. This is a no-brainer. If you listen to the show at all, you probably already knew that I was going to say McGill here. One of my favorite pitchers on the slate. He's an excellent spot for him. I think he's going to be a little lower owned than he probably should be. Over 8K to score under 15. My bust today. I feel like a lot of these pitchers get there on this slate, and I am going to go a little off the board, I feel like, and say Shota. The pitch count concerns me. The strikeout rate concerns me. And the matchup concerns me. I know he pitched really well against this team, and this is kind of a hot take, but he's one of my least favorite pitchers up in this range today. Yeah. Over 4K to hit a home run. Give me Michael Busch. I'm going to continue. I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again. He's a really, really streaky hitter, and he's hitting really well right now. Like, his ISO continues to climb. I think it's like 260 or 270. And Randy Vasquez is not a strikeout pitcher. This is the type of guy that you'd love to play Michael Busch against. I'm gonna play the hot streak and say Michael Busch stays hot here. Under 4K to get 10 DraftKings points. Kerry Carpenter, I talked about it. I think this price is just silly for him. Love this spot for him today. Stack to score 5 or more runs or 6 or more runs. Stack to score 6 or more runs. There's a lot of them today. I'm going Angels. I think this is a sneaky good spot for the Angels. I love when the stats and numbers and the data lines up like this. And it just, I hope I open up tomorrow and they're not chalky. They're not expensive. I really, really think that this is a great spot for the Angels. I'm gonna play the Angels today. I already bet they're over 3.5. But I want to play the Angels. I think that they have so much upside in this spot. Oh, Hoppy too. I didn't even mention Hoppy. No player prop. Okay, so yesterday when I finished the podcast, Prize Picks actually did have some stuff up and I just didn't check. I tweeted out a Prize Picks play. It did not get there because Framber did not do well in Torkelson. I think it was like a 3 of 5 one. Don't we hate those? We hate those 3 of 5 ones. So I'm going to check really quick. I'm pulling it up. Yeah, see, they don't have anything up for tomorrow yet. So they have some stuff up for 640. I like they have Taylor McGill at 5.5 strikeouts tomorrow. I like the over on that, or more than that. I like that. If you have something else you like on Prize Picks, I like that more than 5.5 strikeouts for McGill. Probably. Oh, it just went to 4.5. Oh, we're gonna take that right now. I gotta find something else. Chat, we gotta find something else we can put it with and do a little 2-pick play here. They don't have a lot of stuff up yet. Let's. Oh, do they have anything with like Mike Trout up? Let's see. Oh, see right here. All right, we're gonna do a 2-pick play over there on Prize Picks instead of a player prop today. I gotta pick them for tomorrow on Prize Picks. Right now, this line's gonna change. So Taylor McGill more than 4.5 strikeouts. Mike Trout more than 7.5 fantasy points is a 2-pick play over there on Prize Picks. That's my player prop / pick 'em play for the podcast today. And then my 3-pick parlay that has been ice cold to start the season. Follow at your own risk at this point, I feel like. Man, I'm going to keep doing them because, I think we were like 38, 40-something units up last year. Like, I know that I'm going to get hot. I like this one. I'm going to keep doing it. I got Yankees over the Royals, money line, -185. Tigers to beat the Brewers, -125. And I think one of the most mispriced lines on the board today, Mets to beat the Twins, -115. I bet that one straight up, too, not even in my 3-pick parlay. This is +418. Hopefully we can get going here. It just seems like a year where we're nailing 2 out of 3 almost every night, it feels like. So appreciate everyone hanging out. We got the 3-pick parlay. We got the 2-pick pick and play over there on Prize Picks. We have a ton of stuff going on. As always, appreciate all the support. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button over there on YouTube. Tell your friends and family to come hang out with us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.